Hi, and welcome to Focus on English.
This is a calm English podcast for listening and real conversations.
Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. It's great to have you with us.
It really is.
So today we're doing something a little different. Usually we're, digging into these huge reports on technology or economics.
Right, some really heavy stuff.
Exactly. But today we're looking at the tools behind those ideas. We're looking at words.
We are. We're talking about vocabulary.
Yeah, but not just like a random list. We've been looking through this really interesting mix of materials. We've got things from the Business English Pod, guides for moving from B1 to B2 level English, some research on reading.
And even some IELTS prep materials. It's a really diverse mix.
It is, but when you look at them all together, you start to see a pattern.
You do. Certain words just keep showing up. They're like keys, really. They unlock situations at work or in your studies.
And our mission today is to give you those keys. We've picked out 3 specific words that just kept appearing across all these sources.
All right. And we just want to say, for this deep dive, we're going to keep the pace a little more relaxed.
Yeah, no racing today. We want these ideas to really sink in. So the 3 words we're putting under the microscope are accountable, overwhelmed, and eventually.
They sound simple, but they carry so much meaning.
They really do. So let's start with that first one. I saw this everywhere in the business articles. The word is accountable.
Accountable. A-C-C-O-U-N-T-A-B-L-E.
For the longest time, I kind of treated this word as just a synonym for responsible.
A lot of people do.
Right. If I'm responsible for making the coffee, I'm accountable for the coffee. But when you dig into those Business English Pod sources, there's a real nuance there, isn't there?
Oh, there's a huge distinction. And it's one that can actually get people into trouble at work.
Really? How so?
Well, being responsible usually means you're the one doing the task. You're typing the email, you're making the call, but being accountable, that's about the outcome.
So wait, you can be accountable even if you're not the one doing the work.
Precisely. Think of a CEO. A CEO isn't actually making the products in the factory. But if the products are faulty, who gets the call from the board?
The CEO.
The CEO is accountable.
Huh. That's a scary thought. It feels heavier than just being responsible.
It is heavier.
Well,
In those workplace sources, they talk about ownership. To be accountable means you own the result, good or bad.
so you can't blame anyone else.
You can't. If the project fails, you're the one who has to stand up and explain why. You can't blame your team. You can't blame the weather. You have to answer for it.
I like that. Answer for it. That really helps me picture it.
But here's where it gets really interesting for anyone listening who's, focused on learning English. We found this word accountable all over that source about moving from B1 to B2.
Oh, right. The one about the intermediate plateau. That's that stage where you feel like you just stop making progress, right?
Exactly. It's so frustrating. And the guide argues that to get past that plateau, you have to stop relying only on your teacher. You have to become accountable for your own learning.
That's a big shift.
Yeah.
Because in school, the teacher is accountable.
In school, yes. If the class fails, the school looks at the teacher.
Yeah.
But in adult life, no. That learning plan source we saw mentions you need a study plan where you track your own hours.
Ah, so you're managing yourself.
You're managing yourself. You're basically saying, I am the boss of my English. If I don't learn these words, I can't fire my teacher. I have to look in the mirror.
So accountability is really about taking control.
Yes. And it sounds serious, but it's so empowering. If you're accountable, you have the power to change the result.
Okay, let's put this into a real conversation.
Right.
Let's say we're at work, I'm your manager,
Okay.
and the client is upset because a big report is late. I come over and say, hey, what's going on? The client is on the phone. What do you say?
I'd say something like, I understand. I am accountable for this report, and I promise it will be fixed by the afternoon.
I am accountable for this report. Wow, it stops the argument, doesn't it?
It does. It shows maturity. You're not making excuses. You're not blaming the computer or a colleague.
You're taking ownership.
And that builds trust almost instantly.
It really does. So that's our first word, accountable, owning the result. Now, usually when people take on a lot of accountability, they can start to feel something else. And that brings us to our second word.
Our second word is overwhelmed.
O-V-E-R-W-H-E-L-M-E-D. Overwhelmed. I think everyone listening has probably felt this at some point this week.
Probably today.
Probably. But let's define it. What are we actually feeling when we say we're overwhelmed?
To be overwhelmed is to feel completely defeated by the amount of something. It's like a wave crashing over your head.
Oh, like you're drowning.
Exactly. That's actually where the word comes from. Whelm is an old word for a boat flipping over. So you're mentally drowning.
I didn't know that. That's fascinating.
Yeah. You can be overwhelmed by work, by too many emails, or overwhelmed by emotion, like sadness. But in our sources, especially the ones on Consumer Society, they talk about being overwhelmed by choice.
The paradox of choice, I've heard of that.
You go to the store to buy toothpaste, and there are, 50 different kinds?
At least.
And instead of feeling happy, you just feel paralyzed. You feel overwhelmed.
I get that with Netflix. I'll spend 20 minutes looking for something to watch and then just give up and turn it off. I'm overwhelmed by the options.
That is a perfect example. And now let's connect that to learning a language. That article on the B1 plateau says this is a huge reason people quit.
Because there's too much to learn.
Too many words, too many grammar rules, too many apps, podcasts, YouTube channels.
Right.
A learner looks at all of that and just thinks, I can never do it all. They feel overwhelmed.
And when you feel overwhelmed, your brain just kind of shuts down.
It does. It's cognitive overload. And the source with the short stories for beginners actually addresses this. It warns you not to try reading books for native speakers too early.
Because you look at a page and it's just a wall of new words.
Right. And you have to look up every other word in the dictionary. The fun is just gone. You're overwhelmed by the vocabulary.
So overwhelmed is kind of a signal. It's your brain telling you to, break things down into smaller pieces?
That's a great way to put it. It's like a warning light. It's telling you, hey, you're trying to carry too much at once.
Let's try to use this in a dialogue. I think it's a really useful word for people to be able to express how they feel.
It's a very healthy thing to be able to say.
Okay, so you can ask me how my week is going.
Hey, I haven't heard from you in a couple of days. Is everything okay?
I'm so sorry. Honestly, I have 3 huge deadlines this week. My car just broke down. I'm feeling completely overwhelmed right now.
Oh, I get it. Don't worry. Take your time.
See, it's useful because it doesn't mean I'm lazy or I'm bad at my job. It just means...
The volume is too high.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The volume is too high, which leads us perfectly to our third word.
I love this transition.
Right. We've had accountable, which is about taking charge. Then overwhelmed, which is the struggle. And now...
Now we have the light at the end of the tunnel.
Word number 3 is eventually.
Eventually. EVENTUALLY.
Okay, I have to stop us here for a second, because this word is a huge false friend for a lot of language learners.
Oh, it is a massive trap.
Yeah.
In a lot of languages, like Spanish or Italian, there's a word that looks like eventually, eventualmente.
Right.
But in those languages, it means something like possibly or maybe.
Exactly. But in English, it is not maybe.
Not at all. In English, eventually means 100% yes. It means in the end or after a long time. It is certain to happen, but it's delayed.
So if I tell my boss, I will eventually finish this report, I am making a promise.
Yes. You're saying, I'm not finishing it right now. It's going to take time. But the final result is a finished report. Guaranteed.
That is such a critical difference.
Please do not use this word to mean maybe. You will cause a lot of confusion.
Okay, so it's about perseverance.
It is. And we saw this in that significance of reading research.
The one about how reading changes your brain.
Mm-hmm. The research shows that reading a lot, for pleasure is the best way to build your vocabulary. But it's slow.
Right. You don't just read one book and suddenly you're fluent.
No, it's that compound effect.
Yeah.
Little bits adding up over time. And the source argues that if you just keep reading day after day, eventually, you will reach fluency.
It's inevitable. It's not a maybe.
It's a guarantee if you put in the time. And it connects to all those storytelling themes we saw, too.
Like in a mystery novel.
Exactly. The hero tries to solve the case. He fails. He tries again. He fails again. He feels completely overwhelmed. But he keeps going.
Eventually, he catches the bad guy.
Eventually. It connects the struggle to the success. It's a word of hope.
I like that. Let's do a quick role play, maybe about encouragement.
Perfect. Let's talk about pronunciation. That's something that frustrates everyone.
Okay, I'll be the frustrated student.
Go for it.
Ugh. I've been practicing this thrust sound for a month, and I still sound terrible. I just don't think I'll ever get it.
I hear you. But your mouth is learning a new movement. It takes time. If you practice for just 10 minutes every single day, eventually it will feel natural.
Eventually it will feel natural. That is such a comforting thing to hear.
It is. It shifts your focus From the frustration of today to the success of the future.
So, looking back, we've got 3 really powerful tools here. Let's just do a quick recap.
Okay. First, we had accountable.
This is the mindset. I own the result.
Right. Then, overwhelmed.
This is the reality check. I have too much to handle right now.
And finally, eventually.
In the end, it will happen.
The bridge between the hard work and the final goal.
No, I challenged you before we started to try and put all 3 of these into a single piece of advice for our listener. How did you do?
I've been thinking about it. Based on all those sources about learning, here's what I've got. When you start a big goal, hold yourself accountable for the small daily actions. When you feel overwhelmed, just pause and simplify your tasks for the day. And trust that if you stay consistent, eventually you will succeed.
Wow. That is actually a really solid philosophy for life, not just for English.
It really is. It's all about consistency over intensity.
Yeah.
You just have to keep going.
Onward and upward, as one of the articles said.
Onward and upward.
So before we go, we want to leave you with a small challenge. Just try to use one of these words today. Accountable, overwhelmed, or eventually.
Say it out loud. Maybe at work you say, I'll be accountable for this. Or maybe you just admit to a friend, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Or just look in the mirror and remind yourself, eventually I will get there.
It all starts with believing it.
Thank you so much for exploring these with us today. It's amazing how much depth there is in just a few words.
It was a pleasure. It's always fun to see how language shapes our reality.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive. Until then, take care.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you for listening. If this podcast helps you practice English, feel free to subscribe. See you next time.